Hey guys, what's going on? We're going to be looking today at the top 10 tips for beginners on Civilization VII. The first thing you guys are going to want to look for is the mementos and all of the leader upgrades you can find in the game. So when you look on the progress section of the game, you can look at their upgrades that you can find. Machiavelli gets 50% more influence when people reject his actions. That's quite overpowered. And you can also find a lot of different stuff for a lot of different leaders when in the game. I mean, some of it looks so overpowered, and I haven't even tried out all the leaders yet. So I'm really excited to try it out. But yeah, that is one thing to know. You definitely want to upgrade your leaders by playing games because you will get all of these different little bonuses, and it'll be quite good. So as I've already said, you can get like some of the upgrades for the leaders, and you also get mementos for them. So some of the mementos give the leaders some absolutely ridiculous like bonuses compared to the AI or like anyone else you're playing with. But to be fully fair, I reckon a lot of players will use this in like online matches against each other because like there's no way you're not going to accept a bonus like this. Okay, so the next tip is going to be about settling cities, especially your capital city, your first one, with the founder. It's not even a settler anymore. Now, what you want to check for, I mean, ideally, if you're a Civ player already and you kind of already know how to do this, you want to look for resources near you. On this one that we've got like different resources near us that provide different bonuses. When you settle cities in this game, you kind of want to have a rough idea of where the fresh water is, where the it looks weird because it looks grey in this game, where the better option to settle is, whereas in Civ 6 you look green, but you know, is what it is. We're going to put Wasset down, as you can see, next to a nice navigable river. Sorry, I can't really say that in one mouthful, but there we go. Alright, so the next thing we're going to be talking about is yields. So, as you can see, it's kind of similar to Civilization 6, where you can see like the production and all the like different things you can get from tiles, but there is happiness now, which is also a thing we're going to be talking about in this video, like I've said before. Yeah, it's kind of the same thing, really. I mean, yeah. When you look at this screen, it tells you like what you've got in the city, like at the top. I've currently got 0 science and 0 culture, which is not a good thing, but happiness is decent, and food and production's decent. Production's actually now the hammer tool again in Civ 6. It used to be the cog tool, didn't it? Or the cog little icon. Well, now it's the hammer icon again. You can actually see that a lot of the resources around the city now have like information about them. So this will give us culture over here, whereas like there will also be like other parts of the game which will give me like production as well, which I've already actually I'm planning to build on it. So alright, so this is actually quite an important one. City growth is pretty much essential to the game. It's so much faster than Civ 6. It's quite scary, but what you want to do is you want to kind of push towards the nearest resource. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to expand onto this tile here that's going to give me production for wonders and stuff. So yeah, it pushes the land up a bit further as well. It's quite a good idea to just go for production first, but obviously it's up to the player really. Okay, in this tip we're going to be looking at the government types. Now, there are different bonuses you can get. I personally will always normally go for despotism, but it really depends on the leader, to be honest, because certain leaders have good cultural bonuses that you can kind of combine with the classical republic or the I guess the oligarchy is good for food. I'm not really a big fan of oligarchy, but the top two are definitely the best ones. Right, another thing is you also get like these policy cards. It's a bit similar to Civilization 6, but you get less options to begin with. But to be fully honest, they are actually quite good options. You get a nice culture or science. I mean, yeah, up to you guys really what you do there. It doesn't really affect your game unless you have any other multipliers from your actual Civ itself or your leader, because that way you could actually get stronger. I would definitely recommend combining abilities with leaders when you're actually playing the game. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the Army Commander on this tip. Now, the Army Commander is a very useful unit, very new to Civilization. As you can see, there's slots in the corner of the screen there. That tells you how many troops you can actually store inside of him, or in his pocket, you know what I mean? So the Army Commander is actually what replaces the XP system from Civ 6. No troop can actually actually upgrade themselves in this Civ game, but with the Army Commander, he is the one who gets the upgrades. So you put your troops with the army commander, they get what he has in his upgrades. And one of the upgrades actually include unlocking a 5th and 6th slot, so he can carry up to 6 different troops with him, which is absolutely insane for like invasions. That's mad. So with the general, when you actually use his abilities, you can make troops like build a defensive patch. You can essentially fire ranged like arrows at the same time. Like he can essentially make the game so much more fun with combat compared to like previous versions of Civ. It's actually a lot better. Alright, so the next big thing that we're going to have to talk about is influence. Now, influence is one of the most important parts of this game because of the fact that if you basically don't have it, if you get denounced, you kind of have to just accept it. You can block certain things in this game if you have influence, or you can accept it. It's just how the diplomacy works. It's not like, basically nothing's free anymore. Although, well, there is stuff that is free. I mean, I guess if you stay neutral, it's free, but other than that, yeah, it's just how the game works now. To get influence, you just kind of need to be cool, like everyone else. The biggest tip I can give you for influence is just spend it wisely. If you're spending it on the wrong things, you will regret it. I promise you that. A short tip that I would like to add is this game has crisis events. So you will get policy cards like the government card where you will get kind of bad things happening to you. So I would definitely start preparing for that by getting good influence, good happiness, and just making sure that your civilization is all round okay, to be fully honest with you. So with this, you can see there's quite a lot of different cards you will get. A lot of them, well, actually all of them, are very bad, but you have to prepare throughout most of the game for this like period of it. I'd recommend focusing a lot on happiness and a lot on influence because they can sort you out when you're in like potentially in a really bad situation in the crisis period. Unfortunately, we've just gained another slot that we have to fill in, and it's going to get rid of more of our happiness, which is why the next tip is going to be talking about happiness. So with this, you can see that the card we just selected has made one of our cities going down to 0 happiness, and one of our cities is losing 5 happiness a turn. This is not what you want at all, really. There's not really much we can do about it at the moment, apart from just try and build stuff and see if you can set like kind of switch resources around to see if there's any sort of fix for that. The positive part of this is that the crisis period does not really last for that long in the game. It's like past kind of 70% to the 100% of the age. Just, yeah, make sure that you've got all of the resources that you can get which give you happiness, and all the builds that you can kind of build that will contribute towards you getting better happiness, because this is literally the most important part of the game, like I've said like many times before. Yeah. Alright, so here's a little honourable mention. The Scout, it actually has 2 abilities of being able to discover the map now. So you can either move it around, or there is this telescope button called Lookout. And if you press it, actually, I think it's better than actually walking the Scout around. You just move in one place and then reveal a load of the map. It's pretty cool. Okay, so we're going to be walking you through the Antiquity Age transition into the Exploration Age. Now, we'll give you a little quick walkthrough on this. So once it ends, you kind of get sent to this screen where you get to pick a different civilization. There's a lot of options, as you can see on the screen. I can only be the Normans or the Spanish right now. Alright, as you can see here, we have picked the Normans as Benjamin Franklin. We were the Greeks, I believe, in the first part of the game in the Antiquity Age, but yeah, we are the Normans now. Okay, so when you do load in, you'll see the Exploration Age has begun. Now, the game is very similar to what it has been in the Antiquity Age as well, but you're going to get a load of screens coming up like this about choosing your kind of legacy planning. It's really up to you. All of them have different bonuses. Some of them have weird things that decrease what you're going to get in the game, but they're bonuses. And that'll be it today, guys. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you guys like this video, we'll definitely do a top 10 tips for the Exploration Age.